a headset?
Yeah, there's headsets out there.
There's one right there.
4 headsets out there.
Okay, welcome to Talking Dance Moves. I'm April, and I have two special guests today with me. It's going to be all about dance moms today. Basically, what dance moms contributes to a dance studio, contributes to just everything about dance. So I have Miss Melody and Miss Mila with me today. That we're going to be talking. They're dance moms. We just have a bunch of topics we're going to talk about today. So say hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
So I'm trying to get on Instagram, but my Instagram is actually acting funny. But we're on live Facebook, so that would be okay. And also on KUAW, if you guys would like to call in and ask some of our ladies some questions about, you know, being dance moms and just in general what it takes to be a dance mom. I have a few questions that I'm going to ask them as well. So Melody, you're kind of new to Extreme Explosion and just being a dance mom, period. What do you think about it so far?
I like it really, actually. The kids, they enjoy. I mean, it's challenging at times because, you know, with working and stuff like that, so you got to make sure that you get the kids there on time and everything like that. But I really enjoy it because I like dancing, seeing the kids happy, so.
Yes, yeah, they do. They have a lot of fun with us, and we have a lot of classes for the kids. Your daughter is in a particular class. It's a hip-hop class that is a competitive hip-hop class. So you're going to be in for a ride. When it comes to makeup and hair, I mean, even when I was younger and I was in dance, my mom had 3 of us in dance. And getting all 3 of us ready was a challenge for her. So it's going to be a challenge for, you know, for you to get them ready. We're going to have to, you know, we're planning on going out of state, local competitions. And so it's going to be good.
Right, I'm up for the challenge, you know, so, but fashion and all that, that's my specialty, so just being on time is going to be the problem for me.
I think that's
but other than that, dressing, hair, makeup, hey.
And that's one thing I actually love about, you know, parents in general that can do hair and makeup and stuff. It makes it so much easier for us as coaches, as directors, to actually be prepared for those particular competitions, because they do it takes a lot on our end, you know, in terms of getting them ready, making sure competition people have music, making sure they're not nervous, you know, because they do, being so young, they get nervous, you know. I mean,
right, like me right now.
Right.
Exactly, me too.
Yeah, so are you up for the challenge?
I am.
She's also going to be, Miss Mila is going to be my assistant, so she's going to be having to do a lot of running, I think, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if she really, you know, understands what it takes to actually be, you know, I mean, you're a business owner too, you know, you have your own business on the side, so you already know what it takes to be behind the scenes of something besides just dance. But in those 2 collaborations, I mean, it's gonna be a really good summer and a really good year for everybody in general. It is Mother's Day on Sunday, so happy Mother's Day to you guys, and to all the mothers out there, to my mommy.
Yeah, to all the mothers out there.
Yes.
My grandmother was a big part of being a dance mom. My grandmother was, you know, she would walk with us in the parades. I mean, and she was older, you know, and my mom would sit on the sidelines. And back then, when I was dancing, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have those camcorders. You know, we just had those big camcorders.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Polaroid camera.
Oh yes.
Right.
Oh yes. That yes. So this time around is going to be a lot better, because we're going to have, you know, the people, the parents cheering for the kids, and you know, getting them ready for the competitions, and you know, we do have you know, some people chiming in on Facebook, and thank you, Maggie. if anybody out there who has kids in dance and they do their competitions and stuff like that, chime in, let us know what you think when it comes to being, they're going to ask you guys some questions in a little bit. So if we see them on KUAW too as well, we'll answer if you guys can read them because you guys are closer still.
Oh, my eyes are horrible.
I know, right? So one topic of being a dance mom, you see it all the time on TV. I got very lucky. I'm going to knock on some wood right there. I don't have the fighting as you do see on TV. We have a group of parents that, you sit there and they actually try to, get in there and dance. I know my boyfriend tries to. I'm going to get him one day on camera.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it is fun. It keeps you young.
Yeah, it does. It
I
really
know a
does.
lot of parents, they put their kids and stuff, so they don't get bored, so they don't, get into trouble at school. I have one mom who called me and said her child has behavioral problems. And actually, dance has actually helped her, has calmed her down.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
Right, I can see it
Yes.
happening. Like just like music,
Yeah. Oh, yes.
dancing takes people to another place
It
too.
does.
and it's just not an art form. It's just something that the kids can do. They do it at
Right.
school. They do it
Right.
everywhere.
Everywhere, yep.
And my kids love it. And since she's
Yeah.
been in it, she's just happy. She do the routine like, Mama, like, girl, I'm tired.
I remember one time when we were in the store shopping, and my mom looks behind, and me and my two sisters are doing our dance routine. She
Right.
turns around, she's like, "Stop it!"
Right.
It is. It gets to be, an everyday thing.
It is.
You
It's
know?
like life. Dance is definitely life.
Yes, and
Right.
it keeps you healthy too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it
and in
does.
shape and all the above.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I'm going to be, I was trying to organize a mommy and me class. I think that would be a good thing for a parent,
I love
whether
that.
you be a little boy or whether you be a little girl.
Yes.
Bond with your mom.
Right.
Yes. Important.
Yes, I've tried back a couple years ago. It's been a while. We had a father-daughter class, and that turned out really good. We had mothers crying in the audience when we
Oh,
did our
yeah.
end of the year show. I mean,
Right.
it just was awesome. So now I'm going to do the mommy and me class and
Love it.
try to get it done that way. But
Yeah.
in terms of dance, have you guys ever taken dance classes as a child?
I have actually. I grew up being a dancer, so I did hip hop, ballet, jazz. I was an elite gymnast, so I grew up an athlete and everything. So dance is life for me too. I love dancing, and I'm a teen boy mom, so I have a boy, and he'll be 5 next month. And what I've noticed is he likes to dance too.
Oh,
so,
we're gonna get him in there,
Yep,
definitely.
so we're stoked about that. So I'm glad that he'll be able to, get with a good community and, a good dance team to get on and stuff to get him ready for it. I'm stoked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And even if they get older and they want to do it for a profession,
Yeah. Yeah.
they can make us let us retire. That's what me and Melody were
Exactly.
talking about the other day. We need to retire already.
Yeah,
and
no, I completely get it. Yep, that's the verdict.
right.
Yeah.
And what about you? Did you?
I danced a lot when I was younger. Forced classes, no, but I was always like wherever,
Freestyle.
wherever there was a somebody dancing, I was competing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was to the point where I made up my own dances and
Okay.
everything like that. I was really into it when I was younger.
Yeah.
But as I grew up, you stop doing things you used to.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still
Hey, we got
it's
some
still
good-
a dream.
we got
though.
some-
It's
Yeah,
still a dream.
and you have your kids too to kind of inspire you, and you can help them
Right.
along the way and stuff.
Right, because she's
yeah.
really been inspiring me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Mama want to bust the moves out.
Right.
Yes.
And, can you read that question for me? We're just reading some.
Yes, I remember those times in the store.
No. Yes.
Debbie Revelle.
Yeah, that's my mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Right. And like when I was younger, my uncle was into it too. I mean, to the point where I had to walk with books on my head.
Oh, yeah.
And doing,
Posture.
he was teaching, right, posture. He said posture and balance is very important.
Yes.
And just like doing the hips, my uncle taught me how to the switch.
Oh.
Really. Well, I
for
had
us-
to do the books, the switching, and the cha-cha and everything
And
else.
see, for us, it was always because I'm a Mexican American. So family parties. I remember we had a first communion, and all of us kids would go hide. We would go hide because our parents would pull us out there and they'd be stepping on our feet, and I'm like, oh no, we'd literally be hiding in the room because we did not want to dance with him.
Yeah.
Nope, it just doesn't work that way.
Nope.
Well, I grew up with a family of dancers. My mom, she danced. My aunties, all them dancers. Even on my father's side is great dancers.
Yeah.
I have actually a cousin, well, two cousins that's dance real good. Well, I just met them actually, so I don't really know too much about them, but I've been watching them dance. and
Like
he
my
did a
mom,
little
she just sent me video of my aunt's 80th birthday, which I couldn't be there, and happy birthday. She just turned 80. My other aunt, which is her sister, was 82, 83, and was out there dancing.
I love it.
It's just, it just runs in your blood sometimes.
does.
Where you just,
Right. And then when I went to my family reunion and they started dancing, and my auntie, she was that old too.
Yeah.
And when she dropped it like it hot and came back up,
Yep.
I'm like, oh, because I always felt when I got older, when I danced,
And
I
you be all
feeling
stiff and all that
I be
stuff,
feeling
yeah.
like, oh, you too old to be
Nope.
dancing, but it's not an age limit on dancing.
No, there's not.
You know?
Nope.
And my auntie proved that to me when she got down low, and
Yeah, my grandma was still doing the dog at 76 years old. I'm like, Grandma, oh my God.
Right,
This is why they call you Party Hardy. So, yes.
So as I
Hi,
got
Izzy.
older, when I started looking at myself feeling kind of funny dancing, I'm like, no.
it's
girl,
gonna be
you
fun.
Right. I'm like, you're not too old, girl.
No,
Oh no!
definitely
and
not.
At some of these competitions, they will bring the parents up there, and they have like parent competitions, like outdance who and what, and then they have spirit awards. They just have different things. I remember when my kids were little, my girls would pick up my son, and I'd be like, "Don't pick him up. He's never gonna learn how to walk."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
Right,
remember one time
right.
I literally gasped because there was a part where our girls went under the other girl, like slid in between their legs. And my son kept seeing that, so he did it. And I thought, oh my God, they're all going to fall.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this is not cool. So now I had to bring my playpen there and put him in there. And,
Sounds like another great dancer.
I
Right.
don't think so. He's autistic. He mostly stays in his room,
Yeah.
but my son Ruben, he danced for us for the longest time. He always used to tell me I'm only doing it because the girls. He loved dance, but he loved it because he got all that attention.
Yeah.
And all that attention because for some reason, when you see a boy dance, it's way different than when you see a girl dance.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to seeing girls.
Right,
And you
exactly.
don't see
Right.
the boys. So when the boys come out there, it's like you'll hear. I mean,
Yeah.
when we do go to competition, you're gonna have to put earplugs in your ears because it gets loud. And what I have to teach them, is they have to concentrate and they have to listen for that music because
Yeah.
it's gonna be so loud. And that's why you have to learn counts as well, because they. If they can't hear the music, they have to go off their counts. You know what I mean? And that's something that we also have to work on and instill in them because it does get loud.
Oh, yeah.
Especially cheer competitions.
Oh my God, my sister was a cheerleader growing up, and they were just too ridiculous. So I get it.
Yes, it gets
Hey, I
very
love the I can't even say what I was about to say, but the whole thing with the cheering and all that.
You love it.
Clapping and all
Yes.
that. Man,
Yes.
I loved it. I really did.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to actually be able to actually. I don't know what that is, but
Right, the stepping, you don't see that no more.
No.
You
See,
don't.
we said no. That's the type of dancing I like to do, the stepping and
Right.
just bringing it back, like footwork and all that stuff.
Right,
Yes.
you don't see that.
Nope.
You didn't even have to go to dance school back in the day.
No,
It's
you
like
didn't.
Everybody was doing it.
Oh, yes.
That's was the
I
thing.
think they do it more now in college. They have a lot of step.
That's
teams.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. They have a lot of step teams. They have a lot of what is that? The dancing dolls. What is that? Majorette. Majorette is another
Oh,
big one
yeah.
in college now.
Right.
You don't too much see a lot of hip hop. Like I was listening to another friend whose podcast just came out. They're losing it.
Yeah.
They want they're part of the Jabberwockies, and the Jabberwockies are older now, so they're getting ready for their new generation. And their new generation, they're going to Japan. Have you ever heard of the Blue Man Group?
No.
No.
Okay, the Blue Man Group they're all blue. And they're in Vegas, and they're a big show in Vegas. Same thing with the Jabberwockies. But the Blue Man Group has shows in Japan, shows in Florida. They're all over. So that's what the Jabberwockies are getting ready to do, is launch their tour to, not even a tour, is have their shows in different countries.
Oh,
So
that's
that way
nice.
they're not losing that type of dance, which is
Yeah.
hip hop. And it's
Yeah.
not just, you know.
Yeah, we're losing it. Hip hop definitely needs to come back around.
Oh yes.
Please.
And it's not more like the booty shaking, it's choreography.
Exactly. There's a difference between
Real
the
dance.
two.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yes.
But they
And I
need
don't-
that in school, though. In regular school, these kids really need that because
yes.
it's a lot of kids that's into dance
Yeah.
and music.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think that they should have that in
the schools.
regular
In the
school,
schools,
not
yeah.
just colleges, but high school,
Oh, yes.
middle school, elementary. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because that's where the kids find their gift at in the beginning.
I just started teaching at a daycare here in Kansas City, and we go twice a week. Our kids are 2, 3, and 4, and they're the cutest. I mean, they're like sponges. They just suck it up.
right. See,
You know what I mean? And I hope to expand and get more programs out there for
Yeah.
the kids. You know, before when I first started my dance studio, which was back in 2002, I started it because I was a single mom, and I went to go pick up my kids every day, and I saw the kids just getting in trouble,
Yeah.
fighting outside.
right,
So
'cause they
I
have nothing to do.
I asked
Nothing.
the principal, I was like, can I use one of your rooms? And so I just went in there, started teaching, and then I got more and more students. And then one of the moms is like, you know, thank you. Why don't you do your own thing? And then that's
Right.
when I decided to open.
Yep.
That was your calling.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. Opportunity
now-
knocking.
Now I'm here in
Yeah.
Kansas City, so hopefully, you know, it can expand,
Right.
you know, and you get the kids, you know, into something since it's not in the schools anymore.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? The only thing is a challenge is because we have to work. I have a
Right.
full-time job before, you know, going to teach. So it is a challenge, and I understand, you know, when parents are late, you know, it's hard,
Yeah,
you know, especially being if you're a single parent
for sure.
household.
Right.
That's the crazy part. But back to our topic, which is you dance moms. What do you foresee to come with your kids when they're dancing? Like, do you want them to be professional? Do you want them to, you know, pursue acting? Do you want them to
Yeah.
pursue, you know, what would you like to see happen?
Well, I want my daughter to be professional, actually, because she really enjoys music, you know, and dancing and everything. And I think that she can really do it and make a career of it. Because, I mean, that's her dream. Why not have a career that
And
she
if you-
loves? So it's not like
Exactly.
work. She's not going to be working. She's
Yeah.
just going
She's
to be
doing
living
what she
life.
loves.
Right. She's just going to
Oh,
be living
yes.
life. So
Yep.
I really, you know,
I've always wanted to start that, is a artist development, a part of, you know,
that would be
you know,
great.
that
would
might
be great.
my studio would be the artist development if they want to take it to that level.
Yes.
Teach them, you know, how to go into an audition. Teach them
Right.
stage presence. You know, just different avenues.
Yep.
On, I mean, when you go into an audition, like last week when we had our other special guest here, when you go to an audition, they look for certain things.
Right.
If you want to audition since she's so young for Disney, you have to have that knowledge of what they're looking for before you even go out to,
right, because
to
we went to a couple of those. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
and they just
awesome.
look for different kids at different times. I knew they had one just recently out here
Right, that's the
Nice.
one she went to.
For the Disney?
Yeah, I took
Yeah.
her and my daughter and my niece.
That's
So
awesome.
they went out for the tryout.
See, that's a good thing. That's
Yeah, that
awesome
is.
that they
is
can bring
great
it.
exposure and that they can bring it here to Kansas City as well.
Right.
Yep.
So
That's the bomb.
Yes,
I'm
that
looking
is a bomb.
forward to the ride, everything. I'm
Yes.
really looking forward to it because it really can help you. You know,
can.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
you get to take your mind off things. And
Exactly.
and
Oh,
then you
yes.
get to live
And it's
life
positive, too.
Right, very positive. And
Yeah.
the traveling and everything, just seeing the new
that's
sights.
that's another
meeting
thing.
new people.
People,
it's
that's what it
great.
is. Very
Yes,
great.
and that's what I want out of, you know, everything, out of all of this, is just to, you know, be able to give that knowledge. I mean, I've been
Right.
doing this for a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
when I look back at it now, I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
this is a long time. I feel so old. Some of my students are 24, 25.
Oh my goodness, that's the joy though.
You know, and I look back at them and I'm like, wow, I knew you when you were
little
3.
peanut.
When you were
Yes.
3 and 4
Right.
years old, and now you're, an adult having, a baby.
Yeah.
And to make a difference in somebody's life, that's
That's
great.
great.
Yes.
It is.
Yes, and that's the thing about being a dance mom as well, is you get to see other kids grow up and be
Right.
friends with them, and then your kids have another group of friends that they can count on
Yes,
and
that
do
was
things
very
with.
important. Yeah.
When we
Right.
have our shut-in, coming up, we're going to be having one. I don't know exactly when, but it gives them, we're going to do nails and hair and, girly
Yeah.
things. I don't have
Exactly.
girls, so I kind of live
Right,
through you
even
guys as well.
parents, Yes.
Yeah.
And it's very important because I feel like it's a good thing just to bring the kids and have like your own little community, and we're just like a big team and like a big family.
Yeah.
We can
Right.
all learn from each other and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
It's
good.
And I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad I don't have people that fight. I look
Yeah.
at dance moms and I'm like, wow.
yeah, because it does happen.
Oh, yes, it
Yeah,
does.
because when my son was in, was it football? I guess it was the last season, and the coaches got into it.
See, that's sad.
I'm
Yeah.
like, it's too,
Not a good
because it becomes
example.
too competitive. When it comes like that, it's not for the kids. You know,
Yeah.
it's basically.
Unfortunately, you get that in competition as well.
That's what I
Right,
was
that's
about
what
to
I'm
say,
saying.
yeah.
It's basically like
one
the
year,
same
one year
thing,
I had literally, when we went to competition, we had our big gym. Then we had the 2 little gyms. Okay, so I'm having to get ready. My elementary kids and my seniors were going on in a different gym, and I have somebody run in and tell me like, "Hey, there are 2 people fighting, and one of them is on your team," and I'm like, whoa, like I had to step back and be like, no matter what happens, like
Yeah.
we as a team, as a group, cannot
Yes.
get out of character.
No, no matter what.
Yeah, even
It
though
should never
some
come to
example
that
for the
because
kids,
it's supposed to
too.
be fun.
It's supposed to be
Even
for
though
the
you
kids.
competing,
It's still supposed to be fun,
You know,
and I feel like sometimes the fun gets taken away of it because some of the kids go overboard with the competition.
Right,
And I
right.
just think that just needs to be a simple, conversation to have with the kids. At the end of the
Right.
day,
Oh,
it's fun.
before.
Before,
Yes, and that's
yes.
one thing that I do.
Okay.
Is I will make sure that my kids understand this is a competition. We do want to win,
Right.
Right.
but it's not that important.
Right.
Yeah.
If you do your best and you show me your best, then I'm not going to have a problem with
already
it.
a
Yep,
winner.
you already
You're
a
al-
winner.
exactly.
Yes.
And let's see, we have some more comments. So. Oh, that's you. Okay. I was like, wait a minute, I can see something.
I'm so nervous.
No, you guys are doing good, and that's a
Oh,
good thing. 'Cause,
goodness.
yeah, last week I was nervous, but not too much.
Yeah.
But today is kind of like,
It's kind of like a breeze. The vibes are right, and
and it's like I
Yeah.
said,
the connection is definitely there. I see the triangles. So,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
6 minutes. Okay. Well, we have 6 minutes left, but we're gonna go still keep talking because
Yeah,
that's
for
what we
sure.
do.
That's what we do. We just keep the conversation going.
If you would like to sign up your kids, we are going to have our summer program coming up. All you have to do is go on to Extreme Explosion KC LLC. That's www. Extreme Explosion, and that's with 2 X's. There's no EX in there. Yeah, a lot of people, and that was another question I get a lot of. Why do you spell your dance academy with 2 X's?
Yes.
Extreme Explosion. Well, when I did start my after school program, that was the big word back in the day, was extreme. And they would be like, oh, that's extreme. So then I was like, well, you guys are extreme plus explosion. And they're like, do double X.
Yes.
XX.
Right.
So then it came to be XX Dance Crew. Then you got your, just different, different variations, but it's always been Extreme Explosion with the 2 X's instead of the EX.
Love it.
And it separates us from a lot of other extreme explosions
Right.
out there. Everybody
Yes.
does it with the EX. So yes. So, but we have fun there,
Right. We
and
do.
I'm glad you guys
love
are.
it.
awesome.
You ladies
I'm
are part of it.
excited.
I know, a part of it, and
Me too.
just being able to
Yeah.
create and see that your kids enjoy it is that's the big reward for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah,
they
and that's
really
the thing
do.
that they're willing to learn. They want to learn, and they just
Right.
they in general have fun.
Yes.
You know what
they
I mean?
do. That's all she talked about. Let me show you this one.
And then I get tons of calls too.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it's the parents calling or something, you know what I mean? And it's like the child, like, hey, can you send me the video? I want to
practice. I want to practice.
And then
Yep.
I'm like, dude, am I going to get yelled at by the moms because
Yeah.
they're practicing a little too much?
Yeah. It's all their choice. Let
Yes,
them do
but
it.
we're
I
going to
love
let
it.
them do that.
Yeah.
But next week, we're going to be having another special guest. It's going to get more in depth when it comes to actual competition.
Yeah.
What you guys are going to have to look forward to. Costumes, makeup. Makeup is a big part of competing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of parents don't like to put kids on their makeup on their kids.
Absolutely.
Which I agree, because I don't like wearing a lot of makeup either.
Right.
But if you're on a stage and you have all those lights, you won't be able to see their face, their beautiful faces. So that's why we put excessive makeup on them, you know, and we're going to get in a little bit more with that with a couple special guests I have and costumes.
Awesome.
And it gets expensive, but we
It's worth it.
work it out. And
Yep.
Right.
But yeah, so tune in next week. And we will be discussing more. And I want to thank my dance moms for coming out. I really appreciate you guys and everything you guys do, especially the dedication. The dedication is like no other.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, and thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me.
And
Appreciate it.
We wouldn't be
And
here
we
if
have
it wasn't for
Melody
you.
and Mila
Exactly.
Yeah.
was our special guest for today, and they were our dance moms. And it was more like us, you know, paying homage to mothers and, you know, parents in general for being there for their kids and, you know, getting them ready for all that stuff. But we're about to go in a couple minutes. If you, like I said, if you guys have any questions, if you tune in next week, we'll give some more information on the dance studio and, you know, just different outlooks on talking dance moves.
Right. Make sure you guys tune in. Yeah.
Tune in. Chit chat.
Alrighty. Let's see. Let me get you off the screen just a second.
It's so silly.
You need
So